Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Polygon MATIC. So here as well, still a difficult situation. This can still push higher. Yeah, it can still push higher in a possible fifth wave here in orange. I haven't seen enough to really confirm that a substantial top has been made. At the moment, I would say a top has been made. That's how it appears at the moment by looking at the price action, but it's just way too early to really confirm it. Point here is that as long as we hover above the $1.07 level, yeah, so above the 50% retracement, I think it's still quite likely that we see an extension of the fifth wave. If we see an extension of this fifth wave here further to the upside, and it breaks above 130, then I would have to change my primary expectation towards we probably already have seen a low. What would we do then? We would wait for this fifth wave to complete. We can then say, all right, these 5 waves, they form a larger wave 1. And we can wait for the ABC pattern in a wave 2 to buy in to trade the third wave. Yeah, I can always only, try to identify those 1-2 setups. They are really good entry points, because let's just assume, yeah, just made up basically, we have a wave 2 support area. There is one currently, but it depends on if we come down now or if we push higher, this would have to move somewhere else. Okay, well, let's say this green support area is going to be somewhere our entry point, and you basically enter here somewhere, you set your stop loss below it. But you're talking about, whatever, for a possible third wave to the upside. If we say this was the one we come down into, the third wave would take it to around 160, maybe even higher. Then, I mean, again, your reward to risk ratio, depending on where it will end, it's just fantastic. It's around 7 to 8. So it's a really good profitable trade. Of course, nobody knows if these support areas will hold in the end, but it's not about that. It's about identifying a low risk entry point versus a high reward exit. So that's what we want to identify, and that's what the Elliott Wave method helps us. Even though primary expectation is to start the sell-off here and make still lower lows, just due to the messy structure, I'm under no illusion that, of course, a low could have been made here already, like Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has made the low, probably MATIC has made the low as well. It would just here be a very unusual structure. Therefore, I don't necessarily have a personal preference. I'm not biased here. We want to trade the count that the market puts into advantage. Here as well, even if my expectation would be that we follow this count 1, 2, and also here we had the 5 waves up, yeah, in an A, B, C structure, and the C wave consists of 5 waves. But let's say 1, 2, the wave 3 down, 4 and 5. I could still, in this support area, which would be relevant for the bullish count, enter to try to trade a wave 3 to the upside. Why wouldn't I? Even if I expect the price to go down, market doesn't care about what I expect. Market really doesn't care. It's a possible trade where the risk is low. Okay, so that's sort of what we want to identify. This is one of these boxes, because even though that would be my expectation, because the overall structure still would suggest it for me, of course we have a lot of situations where the less likely count is eventually going to work out. We have correlations in crypto and so on. If we eventually come down here, and we might have started a decline actually, but if we say, okay, we had here, let's assume we had the bullish count, 5 waves up in a wave 1. If we now come down, then this would be the relevant support area for a wave 2. Why is that? Because this is the area sitting between the 50% fib level and the 78.6 fib. So between basically 97.5 cents and 84 cents for a possible long trade. Of course, in the primary expectation, it would be expected to break it. That doesn't mean that the price wouldn't react to it. And it also doesn't mean that the primary expectation has to work out. Yeah, so that's an interesting one, and we could have already started possibly here the move down, maybe in an ABC structure. So wave 1 to the upside, maybe the wave 2 down. It's not enough evidence, but we have a possible either a 1-2 setup here, which would be part of the bearish wave 3, or maybe an AB, which would be followed by a C wave down into the support area. That's sort of what I'm looking at. So possible in the bullish count, it would be here an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And the C wave could be, of course, towards the end of the C wave, a long trade could be entered in this box, would be expected to get into this area if the decline has started. Or let's say we are in the actual bearish count here, where we expect the price to get into this yellow box. Then we've got something like this and could say, okay, possibly we had a 1-2 setup, would follow down in a wave 3 next, 4 and 5 of 3 to, get into this area down here between 47 and 60 cents. That's what I'm observing at the moment. Certainly, there is a first indication that a lasting top has been made here. But again, we had similar drops here, and it was just a continuation. It led to a continuation to the upside. So also here, the idea was we can push higher as long as we hold 91 cents. Same way here at the moment, as long as we're holding this swing low at $1.07, we can still push higher. But if we break below that, to be exact, it's at $1.06 cents. If we drop below that, it would indicate that we get into this green support area. And then that's the next decision point, basically, where the market will look at and decide what's going to happen. Do we break through it? And do we follow here the primary count? Or do we turn around here in the support area? And do we do something like this in the yellow count? Wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 down, wave 3 up, 4 down, 5 up, and so on, and that's where I talk about high reward, low risk, because it's not only getting to 160, 170. Eventually we should make 5 waves and maybe talk about $2 or more in this pattern. Okay, and that's my update about MATIC. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And yeah, if you really like the content, then also check out the channel membership and make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter. There are sometimes additional signals, additional updates and trading tips here and there. So yeah, check that out as well. And see you in the next video. Bye-bye.